Welcome to the U.S. Supercross Series, brought to you in association with the AMA.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to round 5 of the U.S. Supercross Series. I'm Art Ekman, along with former Supercross champion David Bailey. And tonight is an absolute beautiful evening here in San Diego for racing. And most of the fans, I think, David, are anticipating Jeremy McGrath's attempt at the most consecutive wins to begin a season. That record is held by his idol, Rick Johnson.
Right. Well, you know, I think Jeremy, it's on his mind. We're here in San Diego, Rick's hometown. But I think he likes to take these races one at a time. However, the most races consecutive in a season is 6. Probably got his eyes more set on that. And the 5 will come natural. I anticipate Jeremy being able to win every single race. It's a good possibility.
There are very few people in the United States or the world, for that matter, that know how to compete with Rick Johnson more than you did. You did for so many years.
Well, Rick's tough. You know, nobody bothered me as bad as Rick Johnson. When he's behind, he shows you a wheel. You start to get nervous. He and Jeremy both intimidate you, but Jeremy does it different. He does it with finesse and technique. Rick just did it with throttle, and you can hear him back there. It made you nervous.
Finesse, of course, could be an important factor tonight. This track looks different than any one this season.
Right. Well, it's harder packed than anything we've seen so far. Because it's an open stadium, as the night gets older, moisture comes up and it makes that groove slick, and it makes it very difficult to find traction, and that's what Jeremy's so good at.
Jan Beekes is down trackside right now with Jeremy McGrath. Jan?
Art, the record that Jeremy McGrath is going after this evening belongs to Ricky Johnson. And Jeremy, Ricky Johnson was a rider that was your hero when you started racing. Did you ever think you'd have a chance to equal his record?
Well, actually, when I was growing up, I looked at Ricky, and you're right, he was my hero. I never thought that I'd be on the level. I was just happy to start winning races, and all of a sudden I'm coming on all these records. And if I win tonight, it's going to be great to be equal with Rick Johnson. He was my childhood hero, and to beat it would be even better.
Now, everyone is talking about records. You have a chance to beat Bob Hanna and Ricky Johnson for overall records later in the season. Is that something you think about?
Well, I try not to think about that too much, because if you start thinking about that ahead of time, that's when you get all carried away in your mind, and then probably, most likely, it won't happen. So, I just try and take each race one by one, and I'll try and conquer that when it comes.
Well, we know that Ricky Johnson is here in the stands tonight, and we heard that he is going to be cheering for Jeremy McGrath. Art?
Okay, Jan, the fans are filtering into Jack Murphy Stadium here in San Diego. David, let's take a look at the Suzuki track map.
Well, this week what we have is something that looks kind of like Anaheim did. You got a lot of corners and a lot of whoop sections. What's different this week, though, compared to Anaheim and any other events, is that it is very hard packed and very slick. It's going to force these riders to get real creative to make a pass. You got a nice wide first turn for everyone to filter through. Shouldn't be any problems there.
Look at 387 with the Charger helmet on. Mike Metzger, he's from the area. The black number plates indicate it's time for the 125cc main event. This edition of ESPN Speed World is brought to you by Suzuki. Right now, your Suzuki dealer has the ride you've been waiting for and the financing to get it. And by Honda, defending champions and holders of the past 7 consecutive Supercross titles. Honda, come ride with us.
Ride with us. How do you visualize your future? This or this? Call Motorcycle Mechanics Institute and get on the fast track to success. Endorsed by all 5 major manufacturers, the MMI professionals will provide the technician training to give you control of your future.
I'm currently in charge of Team Suzuki Yoshimura's Super Sport program. I wouldn't be here today without MMI on my resume.
Call Motorcycle Mechanics Institute now to train for your future.
Jumping, jamming, smashing, crashing, flooring, soaring. Experience the high-flying world of Supercross like never before. Call now to order Supercross Thrills and Spills, the video that captures the highs and the lows of the world's top riders. Endless endos, roughest rivalries, biggest bloopers, and fantastic finishes. Can't miss action for the can't miss price of $19.95 plus shipping and handling. Call 1-800-225-5222 and order Supercross Thrills and Spills. All major credit cards accepted. Call now.
Number 1, the defending 125 Western champion Damon Huffman. He's 3 for 3 on the season. Stated that his last season at 125s, he wants to sweep them all, David.
Well, I think last year he was in a title situation where he tried to ride a little bit smarter in order to win that title. Now he's got the confidence. He wants to go and win every single race, and he's won them all so far.
Hopefully Ryan Hughes, who lives near here, can challenge him like he did last year, winning this race as we take a look at the Suzuki starting grid. Chad Pedersen, Mike Metzger, Corey Keeney, Ryan Hughes, who crashed in the heat race but battled back to third. Watch number 41, David Pingree. He's shown fast this year.
He's getting faster every race, and he's learning from these guys, and it won't be long before he runs up front. Possibly he could pick up a win here tonight. He's been going faster and faster every week.
Pingree has had some trouble with starts, and this is always interesting because starts are so important in Supercross. The gate is down, the battle for the whole shot underway. Clowers and Pingree to the outside. Look at number 1. Slowed down, took the inside route, now accelerates. Damon Huffman out in front.
That was awesome. You know, Huffman saw the whole thing developing, and he was able to stay on that inside groove and just take the line away from those guys that drifted wide.
And it looks like we might have that rivalry between the Western 125 two top riders, Huffman and number 9, Ryan Hughes, 1 and 2.
Well, they've gotten away clean 1-2 in a few races this year, and I keep thinking this is going to be the battle, and it hasn't turned into it yet. Hughes has got to keep the pressure on Huffman. He's always able to get away, and that demoralizes Hughes. Now he's got problems with Decker coming up from the rear, and look at
Pingree. He cased it, but kept it alive, David.
Well, he just got too close to that hay bale right there, and well, that really could have thrown him out of things. And here's another look at it. You see how close he was. He hits it with his right leg. Boy, it looks like if anybody else would have gone down, but this kid is so strong and determined to keep it on 2 wheels.
Up with the great start out in front, but here's the real battle for second place. Ryan Hughes, number 9, followed closely by number 27, Team Suzuki's Craig Decker.
Well, Hughes has got problems here right now because you can see the way the track's designed, because it's slick. If you go to the outside, the guy can cut to the inside. If you go to the inside, he goes wide and picks up momentum on you. You can see Decker's just working on him. He's going to make the move right there.
Yes, Decker taking second place away from Ryan Hughes.
And in the process, he's able to jump that triple, and Ryan can't. Now he's got trouble with Pingree coming up from behind. This is the problem Ryan's been having. Started at Anaheim, went through to Seattle. He just can't get fast enough away with Hughes in those first couple of laps, and then he's forced into riding more defensive.
Decker in second, Hughes in third, but Pingree right on his tail and looking quick.
Yeah, Pingree looked good in practice. He's been pretty spunky all day, and he's jumping everything. His rhythm looks pretty good, but you know, already we can see that the 2 Suzuki riders have pulled away. They're not even in view of our camera right now. It's going to be these guys have their work cut out to make that time back up.
Well, Ryan trying to get back close, though, to Decker. He crashed in the opener at Minnesota and then came back for a 5th in that race. Really showed some good speed coming back into it.
Right. Well, he did, but, you know, a rider the caliber of Ryan Hughes should be able to carve through that traffic and get up to those fast guys, and most of the fast guys finished in front of him. I don't think he's having the season he would like to have, and he's admitted that he's not a real technical, loose Supercross type rider. He definitely likes the outdoors more, but he's got to get up in there and start challenging these guys.
Chad Pedersen progressing well each week. He's now in 5th.
When I started losing my hair, it bothered me so much I became obsessed with it. But after going to the Bosley Medical Group, the results I've gotten are fantastic. It's like a bad dream that is over.
If you're considering the natural and permanent solution to hair loss, remember, choosing the right hair restoration physician makes all the difference in the world.
You want to look natural, you don't want to look artificial, you don't want anybody to ever know that you had a hair transplant. That you can get from a good artist like Dr. Bosley.
Today, we're able to help many more men than we could 15 or 20 years ago. We've developed micrografts, mini grafts, and varigrafts so that we're able to restore a head of hair that's virtually impossible to detect.
Get this new guidebook and video, then get a free personal consultation at the Bosley Medical Institute. We're ready to help you make what could be the most important self-improvement decision of your life.
Mucho Machismo. 4 champions put it all on the line in a 4-star night of title fights. After outpointing Michael Carbajal in 2 brutal battles, Chiquita Gonzalez takes on #1 contender Jesus Zuniga. After overpowering Kevin Kelly in a stunning upset, Alejandro Gonzalez faces Luis Espinoza. Fernando Hernandez takes on the ultimate showman, Mauro Paez. And Daniel Jimenez squares off against Marco Antonio Barrera. Live on pay-per-view. Call your local cable company to order.
Way out in front, Damon Huffman after that great start in our 125 main. Art Ekman along with David Bailey and Jan Vikas. Huffman joined Team Suzuki back in 1993, had 4 wins his first season.
This kid's been really good ever since he was a youngster. I've heard about him on mini bikes, and he's really stepped up to the plate and become a great rider. And the few times he's had a chance to ride on the 250 overseas in Japan and different places like that, he's done really well. I think everyone's anticipating him jumping on the 250s, and I can't wait to see him get in there. I think he could challenge McGrath.
He's got good size.
Well, the size is good. He makes it work for him. He's fast to the whoop-de-doos, but he's very technical. He's a lot smarter than some of the other riders out there. I think, you know, part of that is he really should be on a 250. But Suzuki has elected to keep him in the 125, show off his #1 plate, have him win the title again, and he does get to ride the 250s on the East Coast if he chooses.
Damon Huffman way out in front as we take a look at the Honda stopwatch, and you can pick out your favorite rider as he comes by. Here's Hughes in 3rd place, 6 seconds back already. Pingree, though, still on his tail. There's one rider we won't be seeing in this long lineup, and that's Pedro Gonzalez. He was torpedoed in the last chance qualifier after crashing in the earlier heat, and tried to get up and get the machine going again. Went across the track, got hit by 2 more riders, and he did not qualify. One of the favorites for the Western crowd before the season started.
Not having the season he'd like to have. Last year with the Splitfire team, he was having some pretty good performances, and this year we haven't seen him up there, and I hope as the season continues he gets things squared away.
A lot of room between the back of the pack and Damon Huffman, and we're seeing what appears to be a long lap time here.
Well, I think it's because, as we saw on the track map, there's so many corners tonight, and it is very slippery, so they're not able to carry very much speed around this track, and it's probably the longest lap time you're ever going to see on a Supercross track.
Already past the 1-minute mark, and we haven't seen Huffman yet. Here he comes around the turn, Damon Huffman, the defending 125 Western champ, and it's 111.2.
Well, that appears pretty slow. I don't think that means that Huffman's going slow. Normally, he runs about the same lap times, occasionally faster than the 250s. What's happening is just because this track is slippery and the corners are so tight everywhere, the lap times are a lot longer than normal. Usually, they're around 55 seconds to a minute.
Here's the only battle really up front, and that is the battle for 3rd, Ryan Hughes, followed by David Pingree.
Well, I really think Hughes should have been able to hang on to Craig Decker. Craig Decker, he's beaten him the past couple weeks. You saw him just jump that double there, and he's already got a lot of space on Ryan, and appears to be closing ground on Huffman. I don't think that's a threat, but he is closing ground, and if Hughes could have stayed with him, possibly those two could have really pushed each other and been a factor for the lead of this race. Here's our leader, Damon Huffman. Tony Berluti, his mechanic, has got to be pleased with his style and flow on this very tight track. Damon Huffman has been working on his starts feverishly during the week, and it certainly has paid off in this race. Well, the whole shot makes all the difference. Your vision is perfect. You don't have anybody in front of you that can kind of interrupt your rhythm, and he just goes out and rides his own race. And I think that if these guys were to go out and ride, all by themselves and just do lap times, Huffman's faster than everybody. So if he gets everybody out of his way, he's of course going to pull away. Pingree tripling into a corner, making that battle for 3rd close.
The other guys are worried about grid positions. The other guys are worried about track conditions. We just hope the engraver spells our names right. The GSXR 750W and new lighter 1100W.
Success, no matter how you define it, the ideas that can help you achieve it are in the Wall Street Journal. For you, success might be more business than you've ever dreamed of. There's one source you can count on to help you reach it, the Wall Street Journal. Call now to order 10 weeks of the Journal for just $38 and get 2 additional weeks free when you pay with your credit card now. That's 12 weeks of the Journal for just $38. Call now toll-free, 800-331-9600. That's 800-331-9600.
This NHL season, it's all crunch time. So when they ice it, hook it, save it, stick it, stop it, play it, and score it, you'll need to know. NHL Tonight on ESPN2. News, features, and highlights. Sports Center for the hockey addict. Tuesday through Saturday at 11:30 p.m. As the clock winds down, the season heats up on ESPN2.
Welcome back to San Diego. 125cc action. Damon Huffman on the last lap.
This kid always has a nice cushion on the last lap. He's got enough time to acknowledge a fan, do a few cross-ups, and just completely relax. That's a nice cushion to have. That double jump and then single right there that Huffman just came through. David Pingree, as you mentioned before the break, is tripling that. No one has done that even on the 250s tonight, and he's gaining ground on Ryan Hughes.
Damon Huffman, though, has to feel very good. All he has to do is keep the bike upright for his 4th consecutive win of the season.
Well, he looks pretty relaxed right here. He's only got a couple of corners to go, and I think even if he dropped it right here, he'd have time to pick it up and still win this race.
Damon Huffman leading every lap after taking the whole shot. Patience at the beginning and in a wonderful rhythmic ride throughout. The checkers for Damon Huffman.
You know, I think he should be on a 250 yard. He just dominates this class. And since he knows he's got one more year to ride it, he's really capitalizing and just decided he's going to win every single race and be that much stronger when he finally does move up to the 250s next year.
Pingree, the first rider to beat Huffman in a heat race this year, couldn't get in front of Hughes. Hughes holding him off as we take a look at our results. Huffman, Decker, Hughes on the podium. Pingree and Pedersen in the top 5. Sheik, Keeney, Johnson, Willow, and Crum rounding out the top 10. Jan Beekes to get the story from Brian Hughes.
Rhino, you got a good start, and then both of the Suzukis pulled away from you. You think maybe the Suzuki has more than the Kawasaki right now?
No, I don't think so. We've been working really hard with our Kawasaki's. It's not the bike, because I'm almost whole shot in every race, and I just got to get my crap together. You know, I'm just riding a little tight out here, and I don't know why. So go back to the drawing board and hopefully come back. You know, we got a while before the next 125, and you know, hopefully I can figure out what's going on and come away with the win.
What can you do to cure it? Is it just practicing, or do you have to do something different, you think?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's not practicing because I practice a lot. I ride, you know, almost every day. So maybe I just got to change my practice habits or something like that and practice more on technique. But we're going to figure it out.
Well, we know you're trying hard. Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
In points, Huffman could sit out a race with Decker and Hughes tied for second. Decker beating Hughes, though, today for the first time this year. And now he's with Jan.
Well, Craig, certainly this was a great race for you. Being third in the points and then moving up to second here on the podium's got to help your point standings.
Yeah, Ryan was 2 points ahead of me coming into this race, and me beating him, I think that puts us back in a tie for second. So I think I can beat him at the end. I just got to stay consistent and ride like I rode tonight.
Now, at times, it looked like you may have even closed in on Damon. Maybe not consistently, but there were times you were really on the gas.
Yeah, I had a good drive, you know, at the beginning there when I passed Ryan. I might have caught him a little bit, but my Suzuki was running good, and I just tried my hardest, and it worked out. Suzuki's 1 and 2 this week, so hopefully we can keep that up.
Yeah, certainly seems the bike to have. Thanks.
Thank you.
So we're now at the halfway mark of the 125 West CC season, and this young man has won them all. He's 4 for 4.
Damon, well, you certainly said that you wanted to win every race this year. You're well under your way, but it didn't look like you got a great start, but the trick was that to take it really easy in the first turn, and then you were definitely the first out. So it was discretion was the better part of valor in the first turn.
Yeah, I got a really good jump. My RM 125 just pulled super strong down the start, and I got to think that thing is really fast. I mean, it's like a 250 out there. But anyways, I had a really good start, and I was ahead of everyone else, but I decided to let off a little sooner and hug the inside all the way around, and you know, it worked out really well. It's really slippery right there, so I made sure I didn't slip out and got around there good, and I just rode strong and, you know, I didn't make no mistakes really at all, and I'm just pumped up about my start.
All right, well, certainly that was one that shows the professionalism you've been showing all year. Thanks, Damon.
Thank you.
Yana Damon about said it all. He got the great start, and it was a flawless ride. Look where he stands right now.
Hey, he's got a pretty good spot there. You know, I'm not so surprised to see him winning these races. I'm surprised at Ryan Hughes. Ryan won this event last year. He won 3 events last year in the series. And he mentioned that he's practicing hard, but he's not practicing the right things. And I would look for better things in the next few weeks.
Huffman keeps his 125 streak alive. Can Jeremy keep the 250 streak alive? Coming up.
This is a 1-800-COLLECT call.
Hey, this is your son, Jeremy. Your son, Jeremy. Trying to be funny? I've been eating pretty good. Doug and I were just hanging out. Cheese. I'm not an actor. What am I doing? Jeff's doing good. He says to say hi. Hi, Dad. Steve says to say hi. Hi, Mom and Dad. Say what? I think we're going to take it tonight. No, I'd rather have it on your bill than mine. I'm getting ready to go race right now. Mom, guess what? We just won the championship again.
My very first experience driving a car, I got a 49 Chevy out of my dad's wrecking yard and then went out and played in the desert in New Mexico. You could be the fastest guy out there, everything could be going your way, and then all of a sudden, poof, it's gone.
250 heat #1 highlights are being brought to you by Suzuki. 250 riders can make the main event 3 different ways. They can take one of the top 4 positions in a heat race, and those who don't go on to the semifinals, where if they fail to make the top 5, it's on to the last chance qualifier, where only 2 remaining spots to make the grid of 20. Our highlights, David, show Doug Henry pulling the whole shot, but Larry Ward goes wide to get the momentum.
Well, unlike Damon Huffman in the 125 main, Doug Henry wasn't able to maintain that momentum and jump to the whoop section. Larry Ward carried all that speed from the outside, and he opened up to a pretty good lead. He's been riding good all day. Looked great in practice, and he's looking excellent in this heat race.
2 factory guys got a bad start here in heat #1, but came pouring it on. And #5 is Lamson, Team Honda. #2, Mike Larocco, Team Kawasaki, trying to get through Todd DeHoop there, the Honda of Troy rider.
Well, DeHoop didn't leave him much room, but, you know, it's just another typical bad start from Mike LaRocca. Now, check out this sequence here. Watch Doug Henry, #4, jumping through all these sections. He sets himself up for the inside pass on Larry Ward.
He storms back to take the lead for at least 3 laps. Ward would not let him get away, however. Now on lap 6, Mike LaRocco got by Lamson, moving into 3rd spot.
Check out this move right here. He squeezes up the inside, almost runs over Lamson's foot in the process, makes the pass, but he's way off these guys out in front. Larry Ward taking notes on Doug Henry's line, makes the pass, moves back into the lead, much to the delight of the crowd.
That was with less than 2 laps remaining now. Former world champion #111, Greg Albertine, #10, Brian Swink. They were fighting for a transfer spot with Lamson, and both hit the deck.
And it will appear as though that Brian Swink is hurt right here, but he's okay. He comes back to ride the semi. Meanwhile, Larry Ward takes the checkered flag. An important win for him. In a post-race interview, when asked about the repass on Henry, he said he didn't want to get beat by a red bike anymore.
Henry, the red bike in 2nd. LaRocco and Lamson going to the main. The Honda of Troy trio, Lawrence and Albertine, headed for the semis. Heat #2 underway as we look at our Suzuki highlights. It's Jeremy McGrath behind a very surprising John Dowd of Team Yamaha.
Well, John Dowd's been known to get good starts. He gets a good one here. Jeremy looks over at him as about as surprised as we are, makes the pass, and goes on about his business.
And business as usual. He's won every heat this year. Here's the battle, and the spotlight focused on the final transfer spot to the main event. It was Emick, Kudrowski, both getting by Brooks, #21.
Now watch Mike Kudrowski here as he comes through the whoop section. He gets all out of shape, and he lets Emick get by. And he's just been making a lot of mistakes, and he keeps finding himself in a battle for the final transfer position. And he's got to ride aggressive. Here he gets aggressive, goes around the outside of Emick, and sets his sights on Brooks.
Yeah, Kudrowski this year had to go to the last chance qualifier for the first time since back in the 125 days.
And watch what happens to Kedrowski there. He gets sideways, almost can't even make it up the finish line jump. You know, just so many mistakes, and it just seems like when you hang out back there with the rest of the riders he's not accustomed to riding with, he rides their pace, makes a lot of mistakes. He really should be up front.
Eventually, Emig and Kedrowski got by Brooks as the knack-knack show was underway.
Jeremy McGrath did not appear to be going as fast as Larry Ward. Said he was tight.
As Jeremy took the checkers, Craig put some heat on Dowd for second before they ran out of laps. It was McGrath, Dowd, Craig with his best heat race of the year, Emig to the main, Kedrowski forced to go to the semifinals. Highlights from the first semifinal round. Number 10, Brian Swink, went right to work getting the whole shot, leaving everyone behind, really. It was good to see Brian up and running after that accident in the heat race.
Hey, it appears to be healthy, and as we check out this battle that was shaping up for second place, Albertine sneaks up the inside, gets them both in one swipe, but DeHoop, number 25, is going to come back and return the favor.
This was a furious affair in the early laps in the battle for second place. DeHoop, number 25, the 10-year veteran out of Michigan. Albertine from South Africa, the three-time world champion. And Mike Brown, a 125 rider whose best finish in 250s was 14th at Anaheim. Wow, a case job by Albertine, but he's a tough customer.
Well, he's tough. Remember, he separated that shoulder, and he's got the strength right there to muscle the bike. You know, he's kind of got an unorthodox style, but he makes it work for him. He's got a lot of strength and aggression, which usually works a little better outdoors. Supercross is a different story. Watch what happens here. It's tight, touches the back wheel of DeHoop, stalls it. All these guys go by, and that's going to drop him to 5th.
But Albertine gets it going faster than ever then, moving from 5th to 2nd on the final lap. Brown hanging in there well.
Goes around both of them on the outside, but it's going to be Albertine who prevails in this final lap, moving all the way up to second place as Swink takes the checkered flag.
Albertine, learning every week about this Supercross business, takes second place, one of his better rides. Swink, Albertine, Brown, DeHoop, and Amaranio going to the main event. The others headed for the last chance qualifiers. We check out the highlights from semi number 2. Frenchman Frederic Bollet, number 103, getting out in front after Brooks took the whole shot. Bollet turned it on.
And check this out, Mike Kedrowski in the semi. What's he doing there? Again, this guy's got 4 national titles, and he's making a habit out of it, going to the main, out of the semis in the last chance qualifier.
Yeah, he was buried back in 8th at the very beginning, and now takes on Chamberlain. He got by Chamberlain as number 103, Bollet, taking the checkered flag in semi-heat number 2. Kedrowski 2nd, and Jeff DeMent, number 77, coming in 3rd. Chamberlain making the main event. Larry Brooks sneaking in there in 5th spot. Here were the last chance qualifiers that made the gate. Kyle Lewis and Buddy Antonez. The 250 field set here at Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego, and we'll be back with the start of the race in a moment.
If you like motorcycle racing, you'll want to get the full story every week in Cycle News, America's weekly motorcycle newspaper. Call now and have Cycle News mailed to your home every week with this special television offer. Subscribe for 1 year and get 50 weekly issues for only $33. Use your credit card or just say, "Bill me," and make 3 easy payments of $11. Call toll-free 1-800-325-2925. Subscribe to Cycle News and just say, "Bill me."
You can compare the Suzuki RF to a lot of things. Another motorcycle isn't one of them.
Maybe you shouldn't watch this.
Hey, man, get off me. Y'all been nosy now.
But if you're not afraid, call this number now to get into pro football's private world with this exclusive new video, Total Access 95. Plus, you'll also catch this officially licensed NFL football, both free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated. With Total Access, you go wherever you want.
Going into every room with a camera.
You'll hear things you shouldn't.
This movie is rated R. No, you're wrong. Adult language. Got you, dang it. Doggone it.
You'll know when things go wrong.
We need another receiver. Oh, boy. but that ain't my fault, Coach.
Oh, man. You'll have total access and a great football free when you order 54 issues for only $1.47 an issue. Save over 50% off the cover price. Use your credit card. Call now to get total access and your NFL football both free from SI. There is nothing in the world like Sports Illustrated. Get into it.
The Honda Flashback. The year 1989. And the place, Jack Murphy Stadium, San Diego.
Damon Bradshaw, number 45, in his first ride on a 250. He was the East Coast champion of the 125 division that year. This kid was not playing around. He's up there with the big boys. There's Jeff Stanton, number 7. And Brian Loonis, the mechanic for Rick Johnson back then, telling his rider to pick up the pace. He picks it up, sets his sights on Damon Bradshaw, puts a little block pass on him. Check this out. Forces him to stop. Meanwhile, Mike Fisher tries a 1.5 gainer while leading the race, opening it up for these two to battle for the lead. Rick Johnson takes his teammate on the outside. He's going to go on to take his 4th consecutive win in front of his hometown crowd.
Stanton in a very close second. Damon Bradshaw a 3rd. This was the 4th consecutive, as you mentioned, David, on the way to 5 consecutive wins to start the season that year in 1989. The record that this young man, number 1, Jeremy McGrath, is now pursuing. Getting set now for the 250 main event. It's nervous time.
Well, you can see Jeremy there doing his little ritual before the start. He's stretching out. He's doing whatever it's going to take to get him pumped. Remember, he was tight in the heat race, and I think Larry Ward was faster than Jeremy.
McGrath won here at San Diego last year while battling the flu, and look at number 19 is right next to him. Mike Craig, he led from lap 2 to lap 12 in that race.
Jeremy showing a lot of patience in that race. He knew all he had to be concerned with was who was coming up from 3rd. Nobody was coming, so he waited it out, made the pass towards the end of the race, went on to take his 4th consecutive victory, and here he sits with 4 victories this year, looking for number 5.
The gate just about set to drop. There she goes. McGrath wasting a little time, goes to the inside. That's Lamson and swing to the outside along with Ward. But it's the whole shot for Jeremy McGrath.
That was brilliant, Art. He came across the inside, knowing those guys on the outside had the momentum. He took their line away. And look at Craig.
Craig in 2nd, and he passes Jeremy McGrath. First rider of the year to do so.
This is great. It's a repeat of last year. Craig out front. Boy, he's going to be tough. I don't know if he can go the distance, but he sure is going to interrupt Jeremy's pattern.
Craig, Jeremy McGrath, Lamson in that order, with Larry Ward now in 4th, passing John Dowd. Number 26, Mike Brown having trouble forcing Emig wide.
I think LaRocco's going to pick up a couple of positions in that. Mike Craig has surprised Jeremy McGrath. You keep asking what it's going to take to beat McGrath. You got to take him out of his rhythm, surprise him, interrupt his pattern, and right now Craig's doing just that.
From our Honda track cam, you can see just how close it is. There goes Ward, down. There's LaRocco, Emig, Albertine, and Konrowski in swing.
LaRocco up pretty far this week for a change, but you can see how one line it is to that whoop section, and that's going to allow these leaders to get away. If he can't make a pass pretty soon, it's going to be over.
There goes Jeremy with the challenge already.
Oh,
zipping
nice.
Through the whoops.
Nice move. He could do whatever. Craig was in a tough spot there. If he went inside, McGrath was going to do what he just did. If he went to the outside, McGrath would come in and chop off the line. McGrath can't make that move, though, if he's not close enough. He makes his own luck.
McGrath making a habit of not taking the rider's line in front of him, staying low on the jumps. Here's another look.
McGrath carrying more momentum through those whoop-de-doos. He comes into the corner. He locks up the wheel just long enough so Craig can't cut back underneath him. This kid is brilliant out there.
Here's the battle for 3rd as Ward getting close to Lamson now. Lamson number 5 and Larry Ward. As we mentioned prior, Ward has been on that podium every time and had a very strong qualifying heat.
Right, and check out this line. He only touches once in that whoop section. That's the same place that Jeremy made the pass on Mike Craig. That's a faster line through there. Problem is that he's buried back behind all these guys, and I don't know if he's going to get a shot at Jeremy McGrath.
These two, the best of friends off the track. In fact, Larry Ward was kidding that when Lamson came back from his sternum injury, he would no longer be able to make the podium. That was not true, of course, but now Larry's got a problem.
You see Larry choosing different lines everywhere, much like we see McGrath doing. Right there, as he went over that double jump, you could see him look over to see where the leaders were. He wants to know what's happening up there. Right now, he's running in 4th. He's got to attack right now and close the gap on McGrath before he gets away.
Well, Lamson's picking his line, too, and he's having trouble really adjusting to the fact that he's going to have to take a different line. As we take a look at the Honda stopwatch for our intervals.
You can see right there that it is kind of one line through that whoop section, so it's difficult to make a pass. If they try to go anywhere else, over more to the right as we get the angle we have, the bumps are a lot bigger and you can't go through there as fast. So it's just really difficult. You got to get creative to make a pass.
Ward about 4.5 seconds in back of Jeremy McGrath.
Are you a sports fan? Do you know one? Because now you can get 5 different awesome sports videos for just $19.95. That's right, all 5 videos for only $19.95. And this is first-rate stuff. You'll see today's hottest stars like Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley. Plus, get classic footage like Willie Mays and Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game. And this video here is wall-to-wall incredible plays. It's got some of the most awesome action you've ever seen. You'll laugh and you'll cringe when you watch the greatest sports bloopers ever committed. Also see some of the most hilarious pranks and practical jokes in sports. These 5 different videos include hours of exclusive footage, much of it never before seen on TV. You can't go wrong because you get a 30-day money-back guarantee. So call now and get these 5 great sports videos for only $19.95.
Call now, 1-800-210-7373. That's 1-800-210-7373. You get all 5 videos for only $19.95. Call 1-800-210-7373. That's 1-800-210-7373.
Friday night at 8:30 Eastern, former world champion Kevin Kelly faces Puerto Rican national champion Ricardo Rivera. Top Rank Boxing on ESPN.
You know we're playing the Capitals Tuesday. They got that Jim Carrey. That pet detective guy? No. That Dumb and Dumber guy? No. The guy in the mask? Yeah, you know, the goalie. I didn't know he was a goalie. Yeah, he's pretty good, too.
250 Supercross action from San Diego, California. Currently in second place behind Jeremy McGrath, number 19, Mike Craig of Honda of Troy. He lives in nearby Lakeside, California, and Jeff Glass made a visit.
All right. Here we are, Mike Craig's house. We're checking it out inside. Come on in. Oh, look here. Here he is, the Craigster. Craigerama. Mike, what's up, buddy?
Not much. How you been?
All right. You?
Good.
New team this year? Troy Honda, huh?
That's right.
How's things going?
Going good so far. Just been riding and went through an injury, but I think I'm getting ready for this weekend in San Diego to go out there and show Honda Troy what they hired me for. I go out there and win a race.
Craigster can do, like last year. The only guy last year, he put a hurting on McGrath in Tampa. I recall it. Was there, saw it, did it, done it. So what about the injury? What happened? What was some of the stuff I heard about? I didn't really get what happened.
Yeah, it's the second race in Minneapolis. I fell in the first turn, and when I fell into some other guy's bike, and his foot peg went into my shoulder blade and put a little crack on it. But held me out for a couple weeks, and now I'm still 100%. San Diego go out there and hopefully win it.
Next generation, right here he is. Show us what you can do, man. Give us a couple of these.
Show me a can-can.
Can you do a can-can?
Do it.
Do a can-can. Let's see it. Let me see. What's this? Look at that tattoo. How old are you?
You got them on both legs.
He's running dual tattoos. Me, I'm tattoo-free. So oh, Mickey Thompson Off-Road Championships here, main event winner. You won that one year, didn't you? You won the
3 years. I've won this championship 3 years, Mickey Thompson. I think that definitely helped me in Supercross. The picture behind you right there got me and my team manager together. Right here. That's a pretty good shot. Me and Kehoe.
Oh, yeah.
22, 24.
There we go. There's Eric Kehoe, and where's Dad at? Is that Dad? How do you know it's Dad? He has what? That helmet on. Where's his helmet? You wear his helmet? No? You got your own helmet? What's new with you, huh? What's new? Right here. You got a new one? Look here. Ooh, doggy. What is it, boy or girl? Girl. Do you check already? So they know. A girl. So another one for the family. What's Dad have to say about it? Oh, he's done. No more.
3 kids,
no
boy and a girl. 2 boys, 1 girl, so we're happy we're finished.
So Mike, I see that you've been really putting in a lot of effort this year and stuff, so what kind of training and stuff you've been doing this year?
Yeah, I do a little bit of running, but there's a hill right here back behind my house that I kind of go up and down and try to get my lungs built up a little bit bigger than what they were last year, so I think it's been working.
That's good. Hey, you don't mind if I get some food before I leave, do you?
Whatever you need, Jeff.
Okay. couple eggs.
You need a beer right there?
Oh, a beer, yeah. Got this, I'll take this. This is great. I love coming to Mike's house, man. He's such a nice guy. Hospitable.
Anything Jeff needs.
Hey, can I borrow your car?
Sure.
Can I borrow your car?
No problem.
Oh, great.
You take it anytime you need anything.
Oh, you're the greatest, man. This is
Sure.
the best. I need some shades, too. Can I have those shades?
Yeah, you gotta have these Oakleys.
Okay, let's try them out.
They fit them.
Oh, give me that hat, too.
Yeah, here it is. All right, take it easy. Have fun.
Yeah, see you later.
Don't get too
Thanks,
many
man.
tickets.
I love it. Hey, what are we having for dinner tonight?
Anything you want.
All right.
It's all me, Jeff.
Hey, thanks, man. See ya.
Take it easy.
Back to the action in San Diego, California, as we take a look at Steve Lamson from our Honda cam. Lamson in third. Boy, he's tailed hard, though, by Larry Ward. There goes Henry and LaRocco. Then a big gap before another pack of riders, John Dowd, Emig, Kudrowski, and Albertine.
Well, they're definitely in a class by themselves. The leaders are gone. Jeremy McGrath has a huge lead, and right now, Larry Ward has got to get around Steve Lamson. As I mentioned before, Larry Ward is riding really fast tonight, has the speed, I think, to win this race, but he's not going to be able to do it if he can't get around Lamson soon.
Henry is being pursued by LaRocco in 6th place.
LaRocco has moved up and is riding a fast pace, but as usual, he's coming from behind.
And a tremendous skirmish here between Lamson and Larry Ward. Ward is just looking for the right opportunity, I think, to make the move because he has the faster bike. He is the faster rider. Tries to cut inside, but Lammy's good experience cuts him off.
Well, you know, Larry's doing the right thing. You can see there, he's taking different lines. He's doing all that he can, but Lamson doing a fine job of riding just in the right line, the fastest line, taking it away from Larry Ward. If Larry can't get around him soon, he's going to have company from LaRocco.
And you can see right back there, Henry and LaRocco are starting to catch up with this pair.
Well, I think Lamson's, you know, he's riding a good line and everything, but he's not riding fast enough. He's holding up the show, and these guys are all starting to get close. And I think Larry Ward senses he's got to make his move now.
Jeremy McGrath out in front with Michael Craig in second.
And look at here, Larry Ward. See, he's got this fast line he's been using now. It's been taking him so long to make his move. Now Lamson's taking that line away. So that's one spot he won't be able to make the move. And here comes LaRocco up the inside.
LaRocco. Little contact with Doug Henry. That's been known to happen in the past.
Oh, it's pretty aggressive, but that's what you got to do to make a pass here tonight.
LaRocco moving into 5th place now as we go back to the battle for 3rd and 4th.
And what happens here with Larry Ward is that every place he's strong on the racetrack, Lamson maintains just enough edge coming into that section where Larry can't get around. He's got to set himself up, so in those sections on the track where he's strong, he's got to be right on the rear wheel of Lamson in order to make that pass. And you see him, he's working on Lamson, he's going inside, he's going outside, and they're coming into a tricky section here. Look at Larry Ward. He's up the inside. He's found a new spot. Now see if he can get close enough in the next lap. He can go in there and chop it off if Lamson hadn't learned.
Back to our leader, Jeremy McGrath. We didn't mean to neglect him, but he's been so far out in front with the battles in back of him. He's starting to approach the lappers. Buddy Antonez, number 31, the privateer.
And he's got a huge lead right now. You know, it's just, gosh, it makes it boring, but you just have to appreciate the talent of this guy. Like I mentioned before, he didn't ride that good in the heat races. I thought Larry and Doug Henry were faster, but he goes fast when it counts.
Look at Mike LaRocco. He is now in the picture. It's a three-way battle, really, for 3rd coming up. As Steve Lamson, number 5, continues to hold on to the 3rd place. Larry Ward, though, starting to gas it a little bit more. He's in much better position to make a move, and he's got the inside track now. Larry Ward moves into 3rd place. Great move by Larry.
Well, as I pointed out, you got to stay close in order to make those moves. You know, Jeremy, when he makes his passes, actually, he doesn't follow anybody for 2 or 3 laps. He makes the pass stick right away. Here, Larry Ward, yep, he's right on the rear wheel of Lamson. So if Lamson makes any kind of a bobble, Larry will make the pass. And right here, doesn't really have to pass him. He's on the inside. They're side by side. And where's Lamson going to go?
Hopefully that'll open up the gate for Larry Ward now, as we see Mike LaRocco taking on Lamson with Henry right behind LaRocco.
LaRocco's been watching this battle with Larry Ward and Lamson this whole time, and he should have been taking notes, and if he has, he'll be able to find a weakness in Lamson and make a pass quick.
We'll be back to see if he can in a moment.
Sport, Suzuki Dual Sport, 650, 350, 250, and 125. No other line has a wider range.
Jumpin', jammin', smashin', crashin', floorin', soarin'. Experience the high-flying world of Supercross like never before. Call now to order Supercross Thrills and Spills, the video that captures the highs and the lows of the world's top riders. Endless Endo's roughest rivalries, biggest bloopers, and fantastic finishes. Can't miss action for the can't miss price of $19.95 plus shipping and handling. Call 1-800-225-5222 and order Supercross Thrills and Spills. All major credit cards accepted. Call now.
Introducing NASCAR, a celebration of automotive function and form. Exceptional handling for a ride you won't forget. In traffic or on the open road. Experience NASCAR for yourself.
Sunday, it's the Food City 500 at 1 Eastern, only on ESPN.
Find out why NASCAR is your car.
Welcome back to San Diego for round 5 of the U.S. Supercross Series. Art Ekman along with David Bailey and Jan Pikus. Jeremy McGrath out in front, but this is the battle for 4th place right now with Mike LaRocco putting the pressure on Lamson. Cuts to the inside. Lammy. Nice move out of the corner.
Well, that was pretty slick. A good move by LaRocco up the inside. The same thing Jeremy did to Craig. The difference is he left the door open and Lamson said right back at you. Now LaRocco's probably going to have to find a new spot to pass Lamson. He won't let that happen again.
I know LaRocco isn't thinking about it right now, but he had some very unpleasant memories about last year as he landed on top of Emig. Emig turned around, kicked him, and LaRocco said he kicked like a sissy. Didn't matter anyway. And after the fines hit the deck, they went back to racing.
Well, right now, you can see LaRocco going to work. He's on the left. He's on the right. He's trying everything to get around Lamson. You saw how hard it was for Larry Ward to do. We'll see how fast LaRocco can make it stick.
LaRocco almost with the edge.
He knows the laps are winding down. He's got to make this move. He's not even to the podium yet. He's still got to get up to Craig and Larry Ward.
Doug Henry is coming up close now as you see him cut the corner in back of LaRocco. Lamson holding on. What a battle between these two.
I think Jeremy's going to have to go over and high-five Lamson. Thanks, buddy, for holding all these guys up. He's got a huge lead now.
Putting the roadblock up.
Well, I don't think it's something he's doing intentionally. He just isn't back up to speed from that injury. And in the same place, I can't believe Lamson left the door open again.
Mike LaRocco able to move up into 4th. Henry and Lamson to battle it out behind him. And we turn to 2 non-factory riders right now. Honda of Troy's Mike Craig in 2nd place. And the Sizzler Nolene Yamaha of Larry Ward. What an interesting battle this is with the non-factory teams gunning for the podium spot. Larry Ward in pursuit of Mike Craig. Craig into the corner there. Oh, he left a foot behind. A little stumble. Giving some valuable space for Larry Ward. Ward cuts inside and he moves into 2nd place.
Great move by Ward. Remember earlier he tried that on Lamson and he wasn't able to make it stick. Lamson carried more momentum around that corner, but he's got 2nd now.
A good example that this is a different Larry Ward this season than last.
Right, and we're going to take another look at this pass. You know, I think he was actually a lot closer going into the corner. Just a smart move. Cuts the line right away from Craig. Nothing Craig can do about it.
Craig now, his mission to hold on to 3rd place. Out in front, number 1, Jeremy McGrath, going for his 5th consecutive victory on the start of the season.
You know, Larry Ward's got a pretty fast pace going, and sometimes it's dangerous. You get a little lead like what Jeremy has right here. You get it riding a certain pace. It maybe isn't as fast as it ought to be. And all of a sudden, you got a guy coming up from behind like Larry Ward who's on the move, and it's hard to readjust your pace. It'll be interesting to see if Larry can close that gap.
It's a battle between Honda teammates. Henry tries to cut inside on Lammy this time. This battle for 4th and 5th.
Well, everyone's just had a heck of a time trying to get around Lamson tonight, and Henry up alongside of him, but I don't think he's got any room.
Henry with 3 5th-place finishes on the season so far this year. Had his big problems in Minnesota when he jumped off the track and broke the handlebars and finished in last place. Lamson in front of Henry, and getting into the picture, number 14, John Dowd. He's picked up some time.
That was that second pack of riders that we saw coming through the whoop section earlier that were way off the pace. They have picked up their pace. You can see Emmig's in that battle as well. They've caught these guys.
Lamson's best finish was a 4th place in Anaheim. He's trying to hold on to 4th once again.
Doug Henry back there looking for a place to make a move. You know, I love watching Henry ride. I like the way his style is. He's aggressive. He's good on the 125s, and he brings that aggression to the 250s. And a lot of times he's able to jump the same things as McGrath, sometimes before McGrath can do it. But I just am surprised that he's not able to stand on the podium more often in this 250 class.
Those fans who get a chance to go to early practice throughout the United States, check Henry out.
And you see right there, I was just talking about him jumping stuff. He jumps that triple. That's the one that David Pingree was doing in the 125 class. He's not able to make a pass there. There's no room, but here he comes up the inside.
Lamson and Henry continue to battle it out here in the corner, and Lamson just opens the gate for him. He didn't do that earlier to Ward.
Well, now I'm wondering if
or
he
LaRocco.
Yeah, I think maybe he might have been holding up the pace. And as soon as he saw Henry get in there, he just looked over and said, "You can have it."
Of course, he's just coming back and probably still sore from his injuries in the past.
Watch Lamson. He looks over. Oh, it's my teammate. Yeah, go ahead. I don't think there was much he could have done right there to counter that move anyway, but it sure did look like he made it easier for Henry, didn't it?
So Lamson now has Dowd, Emmig, and Kudrowski to his rear. MK number 7 took a second here last year. He was going all out on the last lap to try to take over the lead and went down. Much more disappointing season this year, however. We'll be back.
When you're done exploring the high points of these 95 Suzukis, make sure you check out the low points. 9.9% financing, 0 down on some of our best bikes. And another high point, you could win a Suzuki 4-door Sidekick or other prizes during our Customer Appreciation Day sweepstakes for a limited time. See your Suzuki motorcycle dealer now.
Success, no matter how you define it, the ideas that can help you achieve it are in the Wall Street Journal. For you, success might be more business than you've ever dreamed of. There's one source you can count on to help you reach it, the Wall Street Journal. Call now to order 10 weeks of the Journal for just $38 and get 2 additional weeks free when you pay with your credit card now. That's 12 weeks of the Journal for just $38. Call now toll free, 800-331-9600. That's 800-331-9600.
Coming up on SportsCenter, the Spurs going up, and away. Big Country needs to play big against UCLA, and the Knicks trying to bounce back. Larry Beal and Brett Haber, SportsCenter, 11:30 Pacific.
This edition of ESPN Speed World has been brought to you by Suzuki. Right now, your Suzuki dealer has the ride you've been waiting for and the financing to get it. And by Honda, defending champions and holders of the past 7 consecutive Supercross titles. Honda, come ride with us. Laps running out here at San Diego's Jack Murphy Stadium. John Dowd, number 14. Mike Kudrowski, number 7. They're battling in back of Steve Lamson. Also, Emmig is back there.
I saw Kudrowski come in there and nudge the back of John Dowd. He went in and ran into his back tire. Doesn't really cause any harm, nothing to any of the riders, but it just lets him know, hey, I'm here. You make a mistake, you're mine.
Out in front, Jeremy McGrath with Larry Ward in 2nd place and Mike LaRocco in 3rd as we look back toward valuable points.
Well, Kudrowski right here looks pretty fast, and he looks pretty anxious, Art, and I think this group of riders right in front of him, I think he knows he can get by him if he plays his cards right.
Kudrowski leaning on John Dowd right now. Dowd was on a run from 10th place in the opening race to 8th to 7th and then dropped to 15th before this race. Kind of a setback for him.
Well, nobody expected him to do that well in Supercross, and he has actually done pretty well. He's shown some signs of speed. He won a heat race in Anaheim, and look at Kudrowski going around the outside of Lamson.
Mike Kudrowski wants to pick up some positions for valuable points.
You know, Lamson doesn't look good at all. He looks wounded. Something's wrong. He has really slowed the pace.
Well, he might not be fully recovered from the sternum injury.
Right. He definitely looks like he's just kind of handing things over to everybody that comes up from behind. He's just not able to put up a fight. No strength at all. Now he's got Emick coming next.
The battle for 5th and 6th right now with John Dowd and Mike Kudrowski. Kudrowski looking very strong. Got the poor start again. Had to come up through the pack. And makes the inside move. What a block pass that was. A flying block.
He jumped into the line. He didn't take it. He jumped in there. I think Dowd that's probably really shocked him, and he just kind of moved over and let him have it. Here's the last lap look. Jeremy McGrath acknowledging the crowd once again.
Jeremy McGrath on his way to tying Rick Johnson's record for consecutive wins at the start of a season. That would be his 5th consecutive victory once he gets the checkered flag. The most consecutive wins in a season is held by Bob Hanna and Rick Johnson, and that number is 6. Jeremy McGrath will attempt that next in Atlanta.
Now, as we watch Jeremy close in on the finish line, Larry Ward tonight has earned this 2nd place. He's actually gained a little time on Jeremy in these last laps. Jeremy's not really trying to impress anybody. He's got the win, but Ward has ridden extremely well. He has earned the 2nd place. LaRocco had every opportunity to close the gap, couldn't do it. Larry Ward belongs up there. As Jeremy takes the win, Larry Ward is solid.
Jeremy McGrath to within 3 wins of Bob Hanna's mark of 27 career wins. And, of course, Rick Johnson holds the record with 28. A great, legitimate 2nd place for Larry Ward.
You can see by his finish line antics that he's pretty excited with that.
Jeremy McGrath closing in on Rick Johnson's record, and that's probably why he's booed here in San Diego. Rick Johnson, a San Diego sports legend. Here's the final results. McGrath, Ward, and LaRocco on the podium with Craig holding on to 4th. Didn't wilt very far. Lamson a 6th. Emick, Dowd, Kudrowski, Swink in 10th place. Let's go to Jan Beekes.
Larry, that was a great ride for you. You had to work your way through the pack, but your goal is to finish on the podium every race. Boy, you did it today with style.
Yeah, I felt good tonight. I came from a little ways back. I had some hard time getting by my buddy Steve Lamson, but once I got by him, I rode my butt off, and I caught up, and, you know, I was on Jeremy's pace tonight. Normally, he's a little faster than me. Tonight, I was just as fast as him. Better start would have made it interesting.
Now, Mike Craig was pretty tough tonight, too. He got a good start. Actually passed Jeremy at one stage, but then looked like he tired a little bit.
Yeah, Mike Craig's definitely a very fast rider. Fortunately for me, I caught him after the halfway point, so he was already tired, and I went right by him.
Hey, nice job tonight.
Thank you.
For this early in the season, an amazing 21-point lead in the points race. Now Ward is 9 points in front of LaRocco. Let's hear from the winner.
Jeremy, well, you've done it. You've equaled the record that Ricky Johnson holds. Did that go through your mind during the race at all, that, hey, you're going to equal that record?
Well, tonight was I didn't feel like tonight that I was on and practice on in my heat race, and I felt a little tight. And it's amazing to me that the main event at that time was so easy. I got out in front, pulled away, and I mean, it's great to be, you know, up on the roster with Ricky Johnson, but my main concern at hand was to win the race, and that's what I was trying to do.
Yeah, but what about Mike Craig? He put an honest-to-goodness pass on you, and then you had to work your way by.
Yeah, Mike put a good pass on me. He was riding strong for that first lap, and after that, I regrouped, got my stuff together, and I knew I had to get by him quick and just get away.
Well, Jeremy, in 2 weeks, you can own this record if you pull another one off.
Yeah, 2 weeks. It's a shame we got to wait, huh?
Mike LaRocco used all his talents to get back into a 3rd place, a podium spot. Jan Beekes is with him now.
Mike, we've asked you this a lot of times. I mean, you look like you're the fastest bike out there, but those starts are still just killing you. What can you do to give yourself a better chance off the gun?
You know, I'm not really sure. You know, I've been working on a lot of things, and nothing ever seems to work twice. So, you know, I really don't know. You know, it'd help a lot if the guys out there would race Jeremy and not just everybody else but him. And it just makes it tough on everybody else who wants to win to get up there and do it. So, you know, just need to figure out something to get my bike in there in the first turn and get away from everything.
Now, is it something technical? It seems like the Kawasaki's run really fast in the race but don't get off the line so well. Is it something that you're having a hard time overcoming mechanically?
You know, I really don't think so. It's not that we haven't got good starts. It's just, you know, whether we can do it consistently or the ground changes, you know, nobody really knows, or we definitely have it taken care of. But, you know, definitely the bike runs good, it's fast, and, you know, as you can see on the track, it goes around good. We just got to get up front.
Well, Mike, you certainly get the Hard Charger Award. Thanks.
Thank you.
5 in a row for Jeremy McGrath. And besides his brilliance, Larry Ward's the most interesting story.
Yeah, you know, and I noticed tonight, Larry doesn't look as pleased to be on the podium as he used to be. Now he really seems like he's gunning for that win. I would look for him to be more aggressive in these weeks to come.
Art Ekman for David Bailey and Jan Beekes. We'll be with you from Atlanta.